So yeah, played like 4 or 5 games. In terms of percentage, where do you feel like you're back to getting into the game shape you want to be?
Yeah, I think I'm close. I definitely think I'm close. I think that just the training staff did a great job, like while we were out, just like working and kind of making really hitting stuff that allowed me to get back into shape really quick when I came. Like still, whether it be the bike versus climb or stuff like that. So definitely feel like I'm almost there in full game shape, but just got to keep playing. So yeah, I think I'm close though.
Had a chance to watch that play at the end of the game 2 games ago, and what did you see there?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want that back. I would love to. I mean, I know the 3 shot didn't count, but I wish I could have the layup back for sure. I think that I knew that they were gonna, not try to give up threes because that would like be a winning shot for us. So I heard their coach actually tell their players no threes when we were up 2. So I knew that I was gonna have a look at the basket when I got it, but I ended up getting there and I just missed, and that's how things kind of play out sometimes. But I think we use it as really good motivation to come back and get the next game. So.
I know you had suffered injury through most of the summer, but your first 3 seasons here, you're playing with Boo. He has almost all the ball handling duties.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I mean, you're almost basically the point guard for huge chunks of the game. How has that been something you've worked on with yourself and with the coaches to be prepared for?
Yeah, I think we worked on it a lot, and I learned a lot from Boo. I mean, I think that just being under him and just kind of seeing the way like how he like plays with the game with so much poise and kind of lets it come to him. I think I did a really good job just trying to learn from him. But then also just this summer, knowing that we aren't really gonna have a true point guard. It's gonna be a lot of kind of whoever gets the rebound and takes it up between like me and Leach and other people. But just kind of being patient and just having confidence with myself, because I feel like I played it a lot in high school, and just have the confidence to be able to play it at this level.
And continuing to talk about the point guard, you're also playing the same sort of minutes like you did last year, about 35 minutes a game. How are you able to handle both that extended load while also trying to get back to full game shape?
Yeah, definitely just, I think it all comes down to just like the love for the game. I feel like I've kind of always said that like if I'm out there, if I'm playing ball, I'd want to be out there for 40 minutes just because like, I love the game that much, and I don't want to, kind of, like I know that you got to get rest, and other people kind of like we have rotations and stuff. But like as much as I can play, I would love to do that just because I love the game so much. But so just like clinging on to like that love for the game will just kind of power me through the times when I am tired. Because I mean ultimately these games are gonna be gone someday. So if I can look back and say like, man, I played like 30 whatever minutes a game, like it'll be a blessing. So that's just kind of what I cling to in those moments.
How do you handle the transition from the first game of the season, sort of leading from the side of the bench, to now being one of the front leaders on the court?
Yeah, just really trying to like transfer that over. Just like seeing what I saw on the sideline on the first couple of games, seeing that what like we need to improve on. Just like really bringing that to the court now that I'm out there playing again. Just trying to be a leader, just like I was a vocal leader while I was on the bench, but now leading by example as well with my like play now that I'm back out there.
And then you and Nick Marnelli were currently the only 2 players in college basketball who are both averaging 20 points per game. What's your chemistry with him been like on the court so far?
And it's been awesome. That's my best friend. So like, just like kind of we live together and everything. So we always talk about ball, and like we just love being out there together because like we started in very like similar roles, and I think his progression's been a lot like mine. Like just like every year he's taking a huge jump. So I'm just like so proud of him, and like I know that he's very proud of me and everything. But we just got to keep going, knowing that like we are 2 very like different kind of ball players, and we can be hard to cover for most teams. So we just have to stay confident, knowing that different nights there's going to be different game plans, different schemes. But if we just love the game so much, like good things will happen as long as we keep that good intent.
Is there some sort of extra edge now that you guys are ending in conference play tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure. There has to be. I think that it's such a blessing to play in the Big Ten, and a lot of guys on our team haven't played in a Big Ten game yet. So it'll be definitely super exciting. They'll get to see it for the first time. But there's also extra motivation now that conference play does start, and we get like these 2 games, like this 2 like little short conference window before we go back to like some non-con games. But it's definitely going to be very good for us if we can put the right foot forward and get a couple wins here this week. So got to take it one at a time, and it'll be definitely a really good experience for us, and I'm excited for it.
You talked about some of the guys having not played Big Ten ball. Jalen being one of them, he's really stepping up at third.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him lately as he's getting more involved in the system, getting more used to playing Northwestern basketball?
Yeah, no, I definitely think he's done a great job, and he's just a super confident player because he's a really good player. And it's definitely hard, like going to a new program and kind of learning the ways, of that program. So I definitely give him credit for being able to do it so well. And it's just going to be really cool to see like what we can really reach. Once we all kind of have a little more court time together and a lot more like practice time, because I definitely feel like we all haven't practiced together all healthy in a long time with my injury ties and Matt's. But I definitely think it'll be something beautiful coming up. So I'm really proud of him. Good. Yep. Appreciate you guys.
Has kind of an extensive wrap on his right hand. I mean, he still played well last game. Shooting seems to be fine, but is there any concern for lingering issues?
He fell in practice and kind of sprained his wrist a little bit. So, fortunately he was able to go out in Arizona. Thought he managed it well. So no lingering effects. Just kind of managing a little bit of a trip and fall in practice last week before we headed out to Phoenix.
How do you evaluate Brooks' ability to step in and seamlessly carve his way up in the rotation this week?
Talking about Brooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a testament to his work ethic. To be able to keep himself in that kind of condition, first and foremost. I mean, it's not easy to come off injury in any respect, but then to be able to come back and play the type of minutes he's accustomed to playing, it shows how hard he worked while he was out. And to keep himself ready once he was given the okay to get out there and play. So, I mean, we all know, we've seen it the last couple of years, what a warrior Brooks is. He's just such a leader for this group with his voice, with his play, and he just brings it every possession, which seeps into the rest of the team.
Coach, at the Arizona football, obviously both games kind of coming down to the wire. You lose to Auburn by 2, beat UNLV by 5. What's it mean to the team to get those clutch reps so early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time, even when we started camp, back in the summer, that we're going to play a lot of close games. It's just, you look in college basketball, that's just how it is. There's so much parity now. It's going to be a lot of close games, and you got to find a way to win more than you lose. And this year we've had 3, 4, 5 games already, that have been in the balance the last 5 minutes of the game, and we lost a couple of them, but we were able to win 3 or 4 of them. So I think you learn with every experience, with every game you go through, especially with a new team, kind of understanding how you play down the stretch offensively, what you want to try to get to, and then defensively being able to dig down and get the stops. And I thought we did that very well in the UNLV game. And actually I was really proud of how we played at the end of the Butler game. We were down and we really extended the game. I thought we did a good job not settling for long threes. We continued to get quick twos. We put pressure on them to make free throws, which they ended up missing some. And then, obviously you're a call away or a couple layups or a tip away from being in overtime or winning that game. So I actually felt like we handled the late game situations out in Arizona very well.
Highest ranked classes.
Yeah.
How do you evaluate the program's future with so many talented players coming in?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've talked about is as things change, I mean, how can we stay successful in this footprint? And for us, high school recruitment, development, retainment is going to be first and foremost. And then how do you supplement that with the portal? And that's still going to be, we've done that the last couple of years with the Ryan Langborg, with the Jalen Leach. But we want the basis and the heartbeat of our program to be guys that come here out of high school. They kind of learn what it's all about. They get better. You look at Nick and Brooks, and we're talking about that now with KJ and Angelo. Look at Brooks and Nick's freshman year. Brooks only played 11 games. I think Nick was a bit player for us. Didn't do too much. Now, as veterans, they're 20-a-game scorers, All-Americans, all conference level players. And that's kind of what our program has done. And so, we feel with 5 guys coming in, they all fit what we're about. They're skilled players, they're tough players, and they're guys that we think are going to get better. And that's a big part of it too, is, the development piece of it. And, we feel like the future with this class, with the young players we have in our program now, the 2 freshmen, with those, that's 7 guys next year that'll be freshmen or sophomores that we feel good about developing for our future.
The last couple classes were around 2 or 3 players, like
Yeah.
you brought in was KJ and Angelo last year. Did you know going in you wanted around 5 guys, or is that something where the messaging would be that effective? And
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily said 5. We knew it needed to be a bigger class. Looking at our roster, 5 seniors this year, we knew it was going to be at least 4 probably. And then just with the way it lined up with the guys that fit what we're about, the positional need, it ended up being 5 guys that we felt great about taking. And I think it'll still put us in a position in the spring, to be able to add with some veterans. So I think we're in a good spot now. It's excuse me. It's about locking into this year and continuing to get better, and then once we get into the spring, and that'll be here before we know it.
Big Ten play starting up tomorrow. Is there any extra edge now that you guys have your first conference game?
Yeah, I think if you don't have a little extra bounce to your step, there's something wrong with you. I mean, Big Ten play, conference play in general, there's a little added emotion. There's another level of intensity that these games get to. It's a little weird because it's the first week of December, getting used to that, but that's the new norm. Last year we only had 1 of these. This year now 2. And you want to try to get off to a good start. It is a long year. You got 20 games, but you talk about the importance of trying to get off to a good start in these first 2 games and giving yourself a chance, especially on the road at a tough place to play in Iowa. Can we give ourselves a chance to go on the road and potentially steal a game to get ourselves off to a great start in the conference?
And then, Coach, you talked about this team is still in the position of toughness. I believe there's 5 players already have 8 steals or more. What can you say about this team's perimeter defense and how it's functioning?
Yeah, I think it's been pretty good. I think it's gotten better, which I've seen. Every time we evaluate film and kind of each time we play the game, we're seeing habits continue to form in a positive direction. I think guys are really picking up how we want to play the defense, where we can be aggressive. I think you're seeing less breakdowns. Early in the year we had some miscommunications on switches, on talking situations that led to open threes or layups. I think you're seeing less of that, which is a good sign. And our guys know that's our identity. I think right now, I've talked about it a lot. We're very much still a work in progress offensively based upon just lack of time together. I think every game we play, there'll be more continuity, and we'll kind of find as these guys play together, the best way to position and get guys in the right spots and find how we need to be more functional on the offensive end. I definitely feel like we're going to shoot the ball better. You guys hear me talk about that all the time. I'm a law of averages guy. I think you might have ebbs and flows. We haven't shot the ball very well right now. I do believe in this team's shooting ability. So while you're going through some of that, you got to play defense. And fortunately for us, we've done that to give ourselves a chance here to win 6 of our first 8 games.
In terms of the team shooting, ranking kind of like the mid to high 300s in terms of 3-point attempts per game.
Yeah.
Is that a number you want to see go up, or is it just about making the ones you're taking?
Yeah, I think make the ones we're taking. I think if you look at the makeup of our team, you got 2 guys in Brooks and Nick that are our 2 leading scorers that take the most shots, that are more mid-range guys and in the paint guys. So, part of that is team makeup. I don't want to get so caught up in, we got to take more threes. We got to take more threes. I do feel like in evaluating the film, we are missing opportunities to kick the ball and find guys in open areas. I think the more we play together, the more we kind of show these guys, we'll get some more inside-out action, which will lead itself to more threes. But I don't think with this team's makeup, we're going to be a team that's shooting 30 to 40 threes in a game. That's just not, we're built, our 2 guys they're kind of rugged old school forwards that get to the basket. I think we can be a high free throw team. I think we can be an effective in the paint team, and then can we complement that with good shooting? And I feel like, we're going to get Ty going. I mean, I've talked about it. I mean, they're coming off that injury he had. There's going to be rust, and we've seen that, but he's working really hard. He's going to bust out, and with Jalen's shooting ability, I think Brooks and Nick are going to be opportunistic with their threes. I think KJ Wyndham's a guy, as he gets his legs underneath him, is going to be a good 3-point shooter. So it's definitely another gear we can get to, and we got to if we want to keep being successful as the competition levels up.
What have you made what you've seen with Matt this year, especially with him coming off that injury?
I thought Matt was terrific in Arizona. I thought he was unsung. I mean, you look at what Brooks did, he was terrific, but really, the anchor of what we did both nights, Matt was fantastic. I thought he had, even in a loss against Butler, his ability to finish. He made 8 of 9 free throws, which was big. He'd been struggling from the line. He had a game before where I think he had airballed to go out there and make free throws in that game and finish around the basket, and thought he played really well in the UNLV game as well. So I thought that was one of the biggest bright spots was Matt's play, and hopefully, again, the more he plays and the more experience, he's such an anchor for us, and his value is never in stats. It's just his presence, his physicality, his voice, and he might be our highest IQ player. he really understands the game, where the ball needs to be. He captains our defense, and such an important part of what we do.
Coach, you've talked about chemistry, just getting the guys to form the good habits, getting the guys to move the system. Jalen, Angelo, KJ, what have you seen from them in terms of getting more integrated?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen a quicker learning curve with Jalen just based on experience. Being a fifth-year guy, having played a lot of college basketball, I think he's starting to adjust to leveling up. I know that was a big part coming from the MAC, which is a good league, but now playing night in and night out against Power 4 opponents and the quality of athletes and size, I think he's adjusted well. He's starting to figure out. I think he can be even more aggressive offensively now that Brooks is back, because Brooks is so much of a playmaker, and hopefully it can open up Jalen's ability, because we need his scoring. And I think now he's starting to really learn how to play off Brooks well, and those guys are doing a good job, kind of co-playmaking for us. The freshmen they're freshmen. There's going to be times they look really good. There's going to be times they struggle, and they just got to stick with it. We have high belief in both those guys. As the season moves along, we need both of them to continue to improve and get better and be ready as we get to the meat of the conference schedule, where they can come in and give us productive minutes. Awesome, guys. Thanks.